Thanks for tuning into Heavy, where we bring you the latest interviews with local, national, and international artists. Today's victim is...
How's it going? I'm Isaac from Radolescent. You've been listening to our new song, Tough, which is all about emotional hardship, breakups, back-ons, just the usual jargon, I guess.
Sounds like a beautiful song.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
So how's the reception been for it, bro? She's released back on August the 18th.
Yeah, it's been really good. Hey, we've been getting lots of good feedback, and stoked to see it's landed in heaps of people's playlists, and definitely probably one of our most popular organic songs with our audience.
Yeah.
Be pretty stoked to get it premiered on Triple J, and the film clip's been on Rage now, and so yeah, heaps of good response so far.
Wicked. And Tough is listed as a fiery punk ballad of sorts. Like, that's two words you don't often see together, punk and ballad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we are a punk. Well, we've been a punk band for years. I guess as we're getting older, we're probably chilling out a bit. I don't really want to swear my head off as much as I used to anymore. I'm not as angry. So it's more of a ballad for us, but at the same time, it's still really fast paced. The BPM's still really high, and it's got a pretty ripping guitar solo at the end. So it's a ballad. It's our version of a ballad, I guess you could say. Yeah.
And you even managed to slip a bit of slide guitar in there too.
Yeah. So that was so Lockie, who wrote the song, the bass player, he wrote it on acoustic, and he sang it with this really your indoor acoustic voice where it's not that loud. He was singing it with this real weird country twang. So that kind of influenced us to be like, oh, we want to make it sound country-ish. And then our lead guitarist, Jared, he was like, well, I'm going to play slide guitar, because he'd actually just bought the part to play slide guitar, and he'd been mucking around at home, and he thought, oh, I've been waiting to put this in a song. So it all fit pretty well.
And the film clip matches the song beautifully. Like, it's set in the country with trucks and cows and all that sort of bullshit. So it looked like it would have been fucking hot.
Yeah, it was, mate. It was. It was interesting because it was stinking hot in the day and freezing cold in the night. So we were really lucky. Lockie's family from out there, and they got a big property, and so we just got to go. We just went out and spent 3 days, and pretty much just had a bit of fun, to be honest. We were shooting guns and riding quaddies and mucking around, and then we did a few live shots, and it was pretty fun. It was good to get away from the Gold Coast for a bit.
It would have been, mate. It would have been. And so, is this Tough a standalone song, or is she part of a bigger album picture?
At the moment, it's part of an EP.
Yeah.
However, we have written a fair bunch of songs this year, so we're still kind of tossing up. We got the EP already lined up with the songs that we wanted to record, but we've been jamming a lot in the last probably 6 months since the Betty Ray tour, because we weren't playing shows. And when we're playing shows, we like to just practice our set and get it all really tight. So when there's no shows on, we've been jamming. And so at the moment it's an EP, but there's a pretty high chance it could form into an album.
Yeah, cool. And how about the music on that EP, mate? Is it similar to what you had out on Excellent People, or is it a slightly different direction?
Yeah, it's a little bit more of a different direction. I think kind of in this a bit like with Tough, a bit more clean sound. We've been recording with Brock in Brisbane, so getting a lot, a bigger sound in the recording. So, thicker guitars, more solid drums. And probably a little less punk, a little just a bit more rock, I would say, is the direction we're going. But trying to keep the attitude the same, and the songwriting, the lyrics still semi-fun. And if you listen to the words intently, you'll hear kind of jokes slipped in here and there, so not too serious.
Cool. Yeah. Radolescent released your debut album back in 2019, but you had to cancel the promotion shows due to the pandemic, so that would have sucked ass back at the time.
Yeah, that was pretty shit. It was a pretty it was a weird year there, but I guess we kind of looked at it on the light side at the time. A lot of our friends in Sydney and Melbourne were getting smashed with lockdowns, and they were far more restricted than us. In Queensland, we're pretty lucky, as you would have known. There were lockdowns, but you could go for a coffee, or you could catch up with a friend, and so we kind of tried to look on the bright side, and that's when we recorded Excellent People. That was something we could do. That was as it was classed, a business. The band's a business, so we were allowed to get together in my apartment in Surfers Paradise, and we recorded Excellent People in my bedroom. So it was, silver linings. But it was shit. It was shit to lose.
It was shit. And you guys started an East Coast tour on September 23rd in Brisbane before moving through Melbourne, Sydney, and Byron Bay, and ended up back at the Gold Coast on October 23rd. So, what can people expect from those shows?
We're going to play a heap of old songs. You know, the last 2 years in our other shows, we have played songs we've been writing, and we've just kind of tested stuff out on the crowd. But that's just a support band. But this year, being a headliner, we're going to play. You know, they can expect everything they've heard on our Spotify or iTunes. They're going to hear at the show. But then in more of a, like, we've really refined it so the songs are all linking and trying to create a bit more of an experience at the live show. So, you know, thinking of the way that songs working with each other, and then we got a couple of good covers we've thrown in there to spice up the set a bit as well. Wicked.
There's a quote in your bio that sums things up beautifully, mate. It says, "We're a punk band from the Gold Coast dedicated to making music and not taking things too serious." Like, the world needs more of that these days, brother.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, exactly right. We like to play like as good as we can and do it well, but at the same time, you know, like I said, slip jokes into the songs, and you know, everything's so serious and PC these days. We just thought, you know, obviously not going to offend or step on anyone's toes, but if you can't have a laugh, then there's no point living. So that's kind of our theory.
Hell yeah! All right, Isaac. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, mate. The song's out now. The tour starts later this month, mate. So best of luck with it.
Hey, thanks so much. Have a great day.
You too, bro.